Welcome to the Deity Codex, the educational platform where you uncover the true myths of gods, monsters, and ancient legends from around the world. On this episode of Real Myths versus Modern Depictions, we explore the thunder god himself, Thor, but not the superhero version, the one the Vikings actually worshipped. In Norse mythology, Thor was one of the most powerful gods of the Aesir, son of Odin, king of the gods, and Jörd, the personification of the earth. He wasn't just the god of thunder. He was a protector of Midgard, the human world. He roamed the skies in a chariot pulled by two goats, Tangrisnir and Tangenjoster, and wielded a fearsome hammer, Mjolnir, said to crush mountains and obliterate giants in a single blow. Thor wasn't the clean-shaven blonde prince we see on screen. He was described as massive, red-bearded, and wild-eyed. He wore Jarngreipr, iron gauntlets that let him handle Mjolnir, and Megingjord, a magic belt that doubled his strength. His personality? Impulsive, fierce, loud. While Odin sought wisdom and foresight, Thor was the hammer of justice, a god of action, not philosophy. Feared by giants, loved by the people, Thor was the everyman's god. Farmers, warriors, and kings alike prayed to him for strength and protection. Thor's stories are larger than life. In one myth, a giant steals his hammer. To retrieve it, Thor dresses as Freya, goddess of beauty, and crashes the giant's wedding disguised as a bride, only to reclaim Mjolnir and slaughter every giant in the room. In another tale, he drinks from a horn connected to the ocean, unknowingly lowering the sea level with every gulp. And at Ragnarok, Thor slays the great serpent Jormungandr, but succumbs to its venom just 9 steps later. Thor was a hero, yes, but not immortal. He was a warrior doomed to fall, and that's what made him revered. Enter modern pop culture. In Marvel comics and films, Thor is reimagined as a spacefaring, noble avenger, charming, honorable, and sometimes comedic. While entertaining, this version tones down the raw brutality of the original. The real Thor didn't crack jokes or learn humility through personal loss. He smashed problems, defended humanity, and did so without hesitation. Even Mjolnir changed. In the myths, the hammer had a short handle, the result of a forging error. But it was no less powerful. Marvel made it sleeker, more elegant, and later replaced it altogether with Stormbreaker, a weapon not tied to Norse mythology at all. But Marvel didn't completely get it wrong. They retained the essence of Thor as a protector, someone who shields the innocent from overwhelming threats. They referenced Asgard, Yggdrasil, Loki, and even Ragnarok, all core elements of Norse cosmology. The relationship between Thor and Loki was also adapted, though in the myths they weren't brothers but uneasy allies, and eventually enemies. So what's the final word? Marvel's Thor is a symbol of growth, a flawed god learning to be worthy. The mythological Thor, a force of nature, the embodiment of strength, fury, and relentless duty. One is an entertainer, the other, a god carved into the bones of belief, worshipped with real fear and real reverence. If you had to face a frost giant in the dark of night, you wouldn't call the superhero. You'd pray for the red-bearded hammer of thunder to bring the storm. Thanks for watching the Deity Codex. If you enjoyed this episode of Real Myths versus Modern Depictions, give us a like, subscribe, and strike that bell like Thor would. More gods, more truth, more legend, every week. Stay tuned.